Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Motorcycle Rewind, and today we're with a 1975 Honda CB200. Stay with us. Okay guys, 1975 Honda CB200. It's got low compression on one side. We've got to dig into it and figure out what it is. So let's start to figure out what it is. Who knows? Put your guesses down in the comments down below. Okay, so we're going to do the old thumb compression test. Turn it on. Just listen for the noise that it makes. That one sounds pretty good. That starter rollers are a little squeaky, but it's been sitting for a while. So that one over there sounded pretty good. Let's test this one. Again, got my thumb over the hole. Nothing. Let's get the scope and see what it looks like. Okay guys, we have the scope. Let's look in this cylinder and see what we have. That's the exhaust valve sticking up right there. You see it? Now, let's see if I kick it over, see if it moves. It's not. I think we may have seen. It comes out a little bit. See if I can get that right there. Okay, let's get that on that valve. Okay, let's see if it moves. It's not going all the way back in. It's coming out. You can see there's the intake valve, and it goes back in. This one is not moving. That looks to be our problem. Okay, this is the little scope I use. It was super cheap on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description below. I think it's 20 some odd dollars. It just Wi-Fi connects to your phone, and then you can see it. So it's not connected to it. It just runs right off of this, which is pretty awesome. So it looks to be that valve is hanging up. So it could be bent, something stuck in it, or a combination of the above. So we're gonna go ahead and pull this thing off really quick and pull off the top end and just look at it and see how bad it actually is. Ended up having to take the pegs off before I get the exhaust off, only because this exhaust wrap, I've got this, I'll show you. I've got this clamp that is wrapped in the exhaust, so you can't even if I took the bolts out, it wouldn't move, it wouldn't go anywhere. This guy was kind of rusted on, so now I can get this guy off. Okay, looks like we just have now this bolt, this one, these up top here, and then those right there, and then the engine will be free. I am just going to take a photograph of, I'll probably have to pull this guy out too. It looks like it's mounted there. So I'm going to take a photograph of this just so I remember where everything goes, and so I can unplug it and then plug it back in later. So let's see if we can figure that out. So let's take a quick photograph. Okay, I'm going to take a paint pen, and just to make my life a little easier, I'm going to mark this top one to make sure I know it goes right there. So now I should only have this guy. I'm going to mark this guy on the wire, so that one will go in the second one. The one without the marks will go in the bottom one. This is, I think it's probably an aftermarket rectifier, so just regulator rectifier, so I just want to make sure I get it right. So now let me take a photograph of it. Good, now we can save it. Okay, so I put the little jack underneath here just to lift up the engine just a little bit, just so I can remove some pressure from these so that everything just comes off nice and easy. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing, put the nuts and bolts, put it all back together. and then we'll get to the next step, which is basically pulling this engine out. Okay, let me get the clutch cable off. I'll just run it up here, and then I already took the tack cable off. Forgot this starter cable. We're gonna need to free that guy up. Okay, good. Let's start popping this thing apart. See what we can find. Remember, there's a sneaky little bolt nut right there, so you want to get it out. It won't come off unless you do. Ask me how I know. Yeah, plus it had a lot of RTV in here. We'll clean up all the gasket surfaces. Okay, let's get these off. I'm just gonna try to pop this thing apart pretty quick so I can get to see what is wrong here. Just have to use the impact on these 4 screws in here. We'll get this guy off, then we'll go to the tack side. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so I just pulled this cover off from this side. There's lots of metal in here. Lots. And then look, let me show you this. I think this camshaft is, look at this. Look at this, these gouges. This is just from wearing in here. We'll clean this up and look a little deeper into it, but we're just trying to figure out what's wrong. Let's get these rockers out, and then we'll get that top end off. Okay, so I just have to get the cam off. I just have to figure out how to get the cam off. I'll have to read some instructions to do that. I did some research. Let me go ahead and read you the instructions. Remove the cam chain from the sprocket and take out the camshaft and sprocket toward the right. So that's what I did. I don't know why I couldn't figure it out before. Okay, let's pull this top end off. Yeah, this is it right here. That looks to be the problem. Let's see if I can get you a better look. What's that oil draining on the top of it? Right there. Seems to be a little bit of a problem. Let's go ahead and see if we can pull this valve off and see what it looks like. Okay, so there's no signs of the valve hitting the piston, which is good. Let me turn this over a little bit, see if we can see what the, see if we can see the cylinder walls. Yeah, they look pretty good. We may hone them since we're here. Check the rings, just pull off that and check the rings all the way through. But let me show you what we found. So here's the valve. I cleaned it up a bit. What was happening, so now it does move in and out, but if you get it the right spot, it'll get kind of sticky, and the head of it is a little bent. let's see if I can show you this way. Here, if you look in through, this is the exhaust. So we're looking through the exhaust here. Watch, see. So you can see the light coming in around. That's the light coming in around. And even if I had the spring in there, it would not pull it tight enough. So it's bent right there. The reason why it was staying open, the valve guide was just all full of junk. So I managed to get that clean. I'll get it cleaned some more. We'll clean this all up. Everything that we took off is all right here. So we'll have this nice and neat. I just got to find some valves. And I think I may go ahead. This is the only bad one, but I may look to see if I can find all four. And just while we're in there, why not just do them all? Okay guys, so all total, I think it took us about 2.5 hours to get this thing completely disassembled. And would have had it done a little sooner if I could have figured out the cam, pulling out the cam. But nevertheless, we got it, so that's good. Just until I get the valves, and then everything will go back together. Guys, we'll be back with this CB200 as soon as we get some valves. We get some valves, some gaskets. We'll put it all together, and then we should be able to button this sucker up pretty quickly. Guys, I want to thank you for watching yet another episode of Motorcycle Rewind. And do me a favor, like, tag, share, and follow us on Instagram, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And while you're in the subscribing mood, just wander on over to our friends, Brickhouse Builds, Gold Guy, Moto Mango, Ace Cafe Bikes, Mile Zero Racers, Plan B Motos, Pete's Classic Cycle, and Lady Moto Bang, and give those guys a subscribe too. Thanks again, guys, and have a great day. Okay, I forgot to show you the cam. This is all worn. Well, this is what rides inside here. And look at the inside of this. Let me get this light so you can see it. Look at the inside of that. It's equally as bad. So I think we're going to need a cam and this plate that goes behind the points plate. But look at this. Look at this seal. It looks like it's been so hot that it just cooked. It's so dry that it looks like it just cooked it. So we'll put those on the list.